Hello and welcome to Walkaround Cars. Today we have this very late December 2006 E46 M3 convertible and a manual, finished in titanium silver with extended black leather. It's covered at 83,000 miles, an excellent example with excellent history. Current owner had it as part of a small collection for the last 5 years, and in that time has used A1 BMW, which is a local, very highly recommended specialist BMW to me, to look after it. So it mechanically, it's spot on, drives absolutely lovely. There's a couple of minor marks on the bodywork that I'm going to point out, but importantly, there's no rust. Underneath is all excellent, no issues at all. You know, the usual sills, checking points, rear, axle mount points, all good. So what we'll do is we'll go around the video, point out these minor marks, but obviously the car is going to be priced accordingly. So I think this is going to represent great value. You know, a very usable, sorted M3 manual with 83,000 miles. Okay, so yeah, just minor marks, sort of stone chips, that sort of thing. A couple of marks on the wheels, which I'll point out as we go around. So the first thing is, if you look on the driver's corner of that front bumper, you'll see two little marks there. You see little chips where the paint has come off. Nothing too ominous, but there we are. And on the other side, just below the lights, you can see there's a little bit of paint peel there, just below where the lights are. Very minor, and a little mark, stone chip on the bumper. Most M3s that are used will have some marks here and there. This is no exception. The wheels, all good. Little minor curbing on 3 of the outer edges, which I'm going to show you in detail on all of them. So really, I guess you would refurbish the lot. They're original diamond cut finish, you know, so they will look stunning. They're minor, so you might leave it, or to get perfect, you might have those done. There's quality tyres all round, so I think the fronts are Uni Royal, and from memory the backs are Dunlop, so both approved by BMW, so fine. So other than that, the paintwork looks to be very original, very straight down the sides, etc. So again, if you look at this rear alloy, just minor curbing there, worse at the bottom there on the outer edges. So you know, you'd either use it as it is if you're going to use the car, or you get those done. But all the arches are completely solid, which is, you know, unusual. Front and rear arches, none of the usual bits and pieces you get on these. The trim below the rear bumper where they can rust is all solid and good. You know, you can look at quite a few now, similarly lower price ones, and they won't be anywhere near as good as this, but you'll find them on Auto Trader, I'm sure. So there we are. Lovely wide rear arches on the M3 with the front. So on the back, it's very straight. There are a couple of marks on this rear bumper. There's a couple of little bubbles that I'm going to show you on the left hand side, the passenger side. You can just see them there on the left hand side. There's sort of 3, I think, in total. So here we are, 1, 2, there we are, and there's one there to the right. Okay, minor, they're just where the paint's lifted slightly, but again, you know, this car isn't going to be a top end price wise, so it's very usable as it is, but no rust. The rust is the most important thing not to have, and this is definitely not got of that. So all around the lights, it's obviously got the facelift rear clusters. Underneath that light panel for the number plate, all rust free where they can go, and they can go along that bottom edge there, which I'm going across there. This car has got very good spec. It's got Harmon Kardon heated seats. It's also had a you know, more modern stereo system, which we'll come to later, with touchscreen, and a reversing camera, which is a nice option. There we are. So all good down this side, driver's side. I think this wheel's pretty good, actually. I think this is the one where there's not really anything to do, but there's a tiny bit there, so I guess if you're having all 4 done, you get it done as well, but it is really minor. They're all pretty minor. There's no corrosion in the spokes. It's just where they've been caught on the outer edges. But arch, again, correct original finish and all solid. Okay, I think there's a little mark there above the sort of on the arch there, just a little tiny minute scratch there, I think I saw, but that was about it. Around the fuel filler cap where they usually go, all good. There's a little ding. This is that one there, just stone chip has hit that. It's just indented slightly, but minor, but it's still there. The driver's door actually is all good. Down the bottom of the doors, obviously, you know, where they can go, is all good. And I think the last little mark is on this front wing from memory, which we'll show you in a second. But let's do the wheel first. So again, it's got the usual outer edge marks there, but the diamond cut itself is very good. All the arch, lovely. Go. So just showing you there inside, all good. That's the worst of it there, but you know, you'd probably get them done anyway. Yeah, how well that looks sitting there. Obviously lovely front and rear arches, sits very well, not been messed with at all. So there's, as I say, just to remind you, there's the marks on the front, but all the fog lights are clear, the lights are very clear. It's not all scraped underneath, you know, just these minor bits to make it an outstanding car. So there's, so that's the other mark I had in memory there, just caught on the edge there. Again, haven't tried to detail that out. You might well be able to polish a lot of that out and then touch it up. It's very minor, and you really have to look closely to even see it. So the interior, black leather, all in lovely conditions. You can hopefully see the mats as usual in the boot. Door cards, Harmon Kardon speakers. You've got the sort of aluminium trim there, the duller one, which is better than the sort of bright one. I think it's aged better. You know, heated seats, electric seats, memory function on the drivers, but all good. It's also got the wind deflector in the boot. You see the M3 sills there, all good, not been kicked to pieces like some of them have. And as you can see there, I'll show you the rear wind deflector, which you can remove, but it's lovely when the roof's down in the summer. Headlining's all good, no issues with water ingress, and the roof works perfectly. Touch of a button, open or close. As I say, these E46 roofs tend to be very good, and this one's no exception. Rear seats, hardly been used by the looks of it. You know, all the carpets, excellent, lovely. Headline is not sagging or anything like that, all good. And they're double skinned on these, so they're much more of an all year round proposition than the earlier ones, you know. Very warm, and you know, you treat it like a coupe even through the winter. There we are in the boot. There's the original stereo in that box. I said it's been upgraded to that unit there, so it's touchscreen, internet, reversing camera, you know, you can connect it to your phone. So very modern unit, but the original's there in the box. Okay, obviously usual full toolkit, locking key, extra, no surface rust on there or anything like that. It's not been damp, this car. You know, it's and obviously underneath you get the usual. There's not a lot on an M3. You've got the spare foam can there, but there's a reversing camera, and importantly, there's none of the usual rust under there. They normally rust right on that edge, you know, for whatever reason, but this one's fine. So again, same condition on. Obviously it's got 83,000 miles, it's got minor wear, but nothing at all that stands out. Everything works, aircon, you know, auto lights, electric seats, stereo's lovely. You've got folding mirrors as well as electric mirrors. But yeah, the M3 is just such a lovely place to be. It recently had, actually, I think last year had the air conditioning condenser replaced, which is quite a big bill, so obviously that's ice cold. So you've got the best of both worlds. But at the price point this is going to be up for, you know, these are getting very good value for money for what you get. These are a fantastic car with a fantastic engine. And, you know, this is cheaper than probably an, you know, equivalent E3325 convertible. You know, so you've got to start to look at, you know, if you want something maybe a bit more modern but very exciting like this is a great option. So look at that, very presentable. The interiors on these M3s just work so very well. The E46, lovely, well-designed interior. Clocks, I love the old style clocks. And as you can see, the engine bay presents just as well. Not been messed with, all original, as it came from the factory, as it should be. Sounds perfectly, hot or cold. Vanos, very quiet. Performance is all there. Push the sport button, you get even more. But there we are, full details and full history, etc. on oldcolonelcars.co.uk.